Okay, so let's quickly walk through primarily before being able to even remind your customers about upcoming appointments. You need to be able to have the capacity to book appointments on Facebook. Now, the first way to do that, to make sure that you do that, is by going over to your page, to your dealership's Facebook page, and under contact us, or there may or may not be a button on here, but there will always be an option, depending on the way your setups are. There's always going to be an option to either edit, add the button, delete the button, you name it. The call to action is always right under your Facebook cover, and it could show up in different ways. So in this particular case, we have the contact us here. For the purpose of this example, we're going to hit edit button. Okay, if you have nothing on there, you want to say add button. And then in here, it's going to give you a multitude of choices depending on what you want to promote. In our case, we want to make sure that we do book now, so that people can book appointments. Now, this would be for a different session, but because it's not really related to Facebook Messenger. But your page should be set up in a way that if you have multiple locations, or even just for the different departments, so that you have sub pages of your main Facebook page or your main brand or the main name of the dealership, and then each sub page is, for instance, for a different location or a different department at a different location, so that way you can utilize this very same tool that I'm showing you in all different scenarios and cases, like for instance for the sales department and also for the service department. So what you're going to do is, of course, you have options to connect with other tools and also link to your website, like if you have a scheduling widget already on your website. But in this particular scenario, we're going to click appointments on Facebook, and then you're going to walk through the scheduling tool setup, startup tool. So here you're going to select, most dealerships are closed on Sunday, so and open on Saturday. So if that's more like your schedule, what your schedule looks like, you could do that. Most dealerships don't have a break in between, but they allow you to do the plus in case there's a break between lunch and all of that. So you customize this according to your business hours. From here, you want to make sure that these options coincide and are best to the way that you operate and how you're currently doing things. So if you know that you're not really going to have somebody that's going to sit there and actually approve every appointment, you might want to check this off as an example. For the service department, you're going to want to allow some double booking, because you can take in more than one job, depending on the size of your service department. And so this will allow double booking one particular slot. And then last but not least, if you're using Gmail or anything like that, you want to sync to Google Calendar. That's a really neat feature. So that way it could come out on it will be synced both ways. So when something's input into the calendar from Facebook Messenger or from your Facebook page, it'll come out automatically on your employee's calendar. Then you want to go ahead and hit next and continue through, and you can actually now review your services so that you can add the different services that they're going to be scheduling. So it gives them an option whether they want to do a tire service, or whether they want to have an oil change, or a particular mileage service. So your 15,000 mile service, your 30,000 mile service. All of those things you can list on here and allow the lead directly to schedule. So this is a really, really nice feature. Here's what you would do. This is some of what ours look like. Obviously, it's going to look very differently than a service department, but you can even individually choose to turn them off so they don't show up. You can even move them the order how you like them to show up. So there's a ton of options here. Then you would hit. You can't see it here because of my my screen sharing, but at the bottom you would see all the way at the bottom, done or back. So you would hit done. When you're done with that. And that's it. You've essentially set up your scheduling widget directly on your Facebook page, and giving that opportunity for prospects. They'll see the book now button, and your availability will be synced directly on there through the settings that you gave it. And now on the next, let's see, part 2 of this, it's going to be how to make sure that your customers are getting reminded, or your leads are getting reminded of the appointments, right? Well, It's not that obvious, but it's going to be under inbox instead of being under settings. We do a lot of things under settings, but not for this particular scenario. So what you're going to want to do, and by the way, if a lot of you didn't know, now Facebook allows you to sync your Instagram messages on the inbox for your page. So that way, from your Facebook page, when you're in inbox, you can actually check and respond to Instagram messages, as well as post, and also your Facebook Messenger and Facebook page messages. So what you're going to do is here, you're going to click on the right hand side of inbox. You're going to click on appointments, and then here, you'll have your calendar will be synced here 2 ways. So you could, you can actually create an appointment manually. So that's a really neat option as well, as opposed to just having, the lead do it. You can assign them here yourself. You can see the current ones that have been assigned. I don't have, an integration to the appointment settings, so none of mine come out here. And let's see. So let me walk you through some of the settings. When you come back here into settings, under appointments, you can now edit a lot of the stuff that we set up earlier, like your hours. You can change whether appointment needs approval. Here you can change settings on how, what the appointment start times are and how often they're available, and then also the services. And then here is the most important thing, which I wanted to show you guys too, which all of this concludes. You want to have reminders set up to on, and you want to also have follow-up messages too, if that's what you so choose. And so and you can change it, when you could change the personalization, the message of it. But this is super powerful right here, guys. Super powerful. Follow-up messages, appointment notifications, and then here at this is not related to the customer, but to the dealer. And you can't see it because again I'm getting cut off here with my recording. But under appointment notifications, you could say for Facebook to remind you of new appointments on Facebook. And then also down here right under, there's another notification that says text messages SMS. So meaning, it'll text you to your phone number on your Facebook profile that a new appointment has been created. And that's how you do it, guys. That's essentially how you set up a booking tool, sync it, manage it, and then also make sure that your bookings are getting reminders before the appointments, and also that they're getting follow-up messages.